Here comes Haig and his crazy antics.
Beat the new record. Can't believe it. In only 3 minutes 26. Goddamn Bobby, I'm good.
Hello there, welcome to Genessis Models and welcome to this week's weekly news vlog. Now we do have the store giveaway hour in this week, but we've got a few other things to get through as well. But we'll just start off with the store giveaway hour, which was really sort of successful. That we did the pilot a couple of weeks ago, and what we're going to do is we're going to be doing the store giveaway hour the last Friday of every month, and it's the last Friday of every month now. So store giveaway hour, let's just jump straight in there. Now the way this works, if you don't know, is I'm going to show you some kits. I'm going to be, putting them at such a low price that we are helping you buy these kits. And all you got to do is go to Genessis Models website, put these kits in your basket, enter the code, and you'll get them at a really nice cheap price, which will only last for an hour. As always, the weekly news vlogs, they do start at 7 p.m. UK time, and the store giveaway hour will start at 7 p.m. and finish at 8 p.m. Come 8 p.m. these codes will be deleted and you will not be able to get the offer, so you've just got an hour to get in on it. So first one we have, it's a nice Airfix kit, which is the 1/48 scale Gloucester Meteor F8. Now this is a really nice kit. I do believe I have built one of these, and they are really nice. They do retail at what was it now, something like £39 or something like that. We are going to be giving them away today for £21, so it's a really big knock off the RRP. We are literally helping you buy this kit, and the code to get it is SGH14. So get over to Genessis Models website, put in that code, put in this kit, and you'll get it for £21, but you've only got an hour. Really, again, a nice kit that I did do a bit back, but very nice by Airfix. Next one we have by Edard. It's quite a new tool as well. It is their Spitfire Mark 1A, and it is also the Provi Pack edition. It's 1/48 scale. It does mean you do get things like photo etch and canopy masks and stuff inside here, plus I do believe probably a load of nice markings as well. I'm seeing 5 on the side. I don't know if there's any more in there, but you normally get a load of cool markings. Now this kit retails at around about £30.50. Now to get your hands on one of these, it will only cost you for the next hour £16, so a lot off the RRP, and the store giveaway hour code is SGH15. So get into the store, SGH15 with one of these in your basket, and it will come up as £16 to buy one. So hopefully you're going to like that. I have done loads of sort of inbox reviews of the Spitfire Mark 1, the Mark 2. Really absolute fabulous kit. I think there was only one sort of fit issue with that, and that was because the instructions were wrong, right? So technically no real fit issues, as long as they have updated. I do believe they have updated the instructions to get rid of that little mistake there. Also, we're going to also do another sort of a giveaway, but we're going to be giving away 20% off a certain range. This isn't as much of a giveaway of those last 2 kits, but for 20% off, it's still pretty good. And what we're going to be doing is everything that is in the tools section. So if you press the tools button on the Genessis Models store website, everything that's in that section is now 20% off, and all you got to enter is tools 20, and all the codes should be nicely down below, so as you can watch throughout this weekly news vlog and see all the codes. So hopefully you're going to get in on them and sell us out and everything. This is a premiere as well, so you'll see there is a chat to the right if you're watching it as a premiere, and I'll let you know if we go out of stock anytime while this video is going. But let's move along with the rest of the weekly news vlog. just starting off with a little bit of news. As for the competitions, as you know, we've only just really started the past couple of weeks doing this weekly news vlog, and the competition would normally sort of be done in the Genessis model show, which was monthly, but now we've gone weekly. The competition times are going to sort of change. It's now going to be the first Friday, or shall we say the first show of the the first weekly news vlog of the month is going to be where we announce that month's competition, and then the second Friday of the month is where we're going to announce last month's competition. So next week, which will be the first Friday of May, we're going to announce May's competition, and then the second Friday of May, which is in 2 weeks time, we're going to announce who were the winners of the April competition we had in April. So just to sort of let you know how that's going, but let's move along and check out what builds and videos we've released this week. So first off was Leopard 2. Now Leopard 2, we have, you know, started moving a lot. Well, we kind of finished off with the fading, which was rather nice, because we did use, you know, some sort of water-based type weathering products for that, which was quite interesting to see that. We also even started moving along with things like our tracks and actually sort of, you know, getting them primed and sort of starting to put sort of like rust into them and chipping effects and whatnot, you know, so that's kind of moving along quite nicely. And next week I do believe we are going to be sort of, you know, painting up pads and starting to move into, you know, muddying this thing up, right? We got all this, we want to sort of, you know, this was the whole thing with this build was, you know, whenever I've done armor, it's always been quite heavy with the mud. It's been sort of really, you know, it's been in sort of service, you know, out in the field, and they're really muddied up. But this one, I did want to keep it nice and light, so because when it comes to weathering, you know, you do go about it a little bit differently when it's, you know, heavy mud compared to what with this one we're going to be having sort of like a light, sort of dusty, you know, a little bit muddy, a little bit of splattery in there, but it's going to be quite light, and there's a different way of going about it. And it is what I'm going to show you, hopefully, which will start next week, is using pigments in a way in which we can sort of get that effect. So hopefully you'll be looking forward to that one, and once that's done, you know, probably the week after that we'll be getting close to sort of finishing, because maybe a bit of streaking, final matte coats, and then starting to glue it together, and it's pretty gonna get close to being finished in. So maybe we've got maybe 4 or 5 episodes left of our Leopard just here. Then we have our Phantom, which to be honest with you, it was a bit of a pain with, if I just kind of get it out, just, it was a bit of a pain because we have been doing the, let's bring you in a little bit close, we have been doing all this photo etch on these gorgeous resin seats. A bit hard to see while it's primed up black, but there was so much sort of photo etch with the resin seats that a lot of this week's episode was spent sort of you know, kind of showing you how to fiddle about with these tiny bits of photo etching, as well as sort of getting past the complicated, shall we say, lack of instructions that you get with Aries. So it was, shall we say, this week was more of a kind of a instruction on how to install the photo etch seat belts, because the Aries instructions were lacking. But next week I do believe we start to kind of move into like painting stages, which I do believe we're kind of getting. I've got about 2 or 3 episodes in advance, but hopefully you can see just here, this is where we start actually painting the inside and all the dials and everything. We do kind of begin to, you know, paint up our seat belts, and I think that's about 2 episodes in advance, but nice bit of painting and stuff with that one. Also this week we did re-release the Homebrew thinners, right? The Homebrew thinners that has been, we've had a tutorial on that for years and years and years, which I might have mentioned like months and months ago, how I wanted to, you know, reapproach all the tutorials that we've done, because we've done so many tutorials over the years, going back like 8 years, and we've got so many that are popular, they've got loads and loads of views on, and I kind of thought, you know what, sort of here and there sort of updating to 2.0. You might have already noticed some tutorials where it's got 2.0 on the end. It's where we're actually kind of remastering, shall we say, because let's face it, 8 years ago I think I had like one camera, and since then we've gone up to 4 cameras, we've got 4K. I've got older and wiser, new tools have come out, new techniques, new ways of doing things. It's just nice to sort of update these tutorials, and hopefully you're enjoying them as well. But nice new home brew thinners, not really much sort of, shall we say, new. I know there was a few questions and answers that a lot of people asked in, say, that the original version, which hopefully I've answered in 2.0, and hopefully it's made it a little bit more clearer, but it was just kind of updating all nice new camera angles and all that good stuff. So those were the videos this week. Hopefully looking forward to next week's. Let's now take a look at the forum and I'll show you my top picks for the week. So starting off in our top picks on the forum, we have our good old member Kitten Caboodle. He's doing a 1/72 scale PB4Y2 privateer. This is his final reveals as well. Really nice privateer here. One thing about Kitten Caboodle, he does do a lot of models, and I do see the improvement that he does with his work. Really starting to see like really nice spray work, and his weathering has just been improving over time, and we've got some really cool looking final reveals just here. Really liking the weathering, really liking the what looks like to be a nice smooth finish spray job. Really nice neat work. You're seeing the canopies are coming out quite nicely. Nice bit of chipping, nice bit of dirty sort of wheels as well, just to kind of bring them to life. All round really nice final reveal. Second up as well, we have a nice car here. It's a Tamiya 1/12 scale Porsche 910, which has nicely arrived in the post. This is what he is basically building, not with these markings on the front cover, but going through this, as you can sort of see as we work our way down, he starts off with the engine, because there's quite a lot of nice detail in here. He's got a nice 1/24 scale as well as like a reference for sort of scale. He's got it primed up and moving along with getting those things primed up, moving along with the engine, getting those painted up and everything. And there's a bit of scratch building going on, nice bit of wiring as well, which we'll see in a bit. Has nicely got the base coat down, the nice white, and that's looking really nice and smooth. I mean, this is kind of like the trick with doing things like cars, is to get that nice beautiful spray finish on the actual model, and it does look like we're not seeing any sort of blemishes or anything like that. Just nice smooth finish. The engine's taking shape with a nice couple of hoses. I do believe he starts weathering it in a bit as we go down. Also quite nice how he shows off reference photos. Always good to have some nice reference photos to try and get that exact sort of look as from the 1/1 scale itself. The engine, as you see, starting to do some weathering and sort of dirtying up that metal work that he's got, and starting to move along with little bits and little bobs here and there. These hoses start to come in, which, as you can see, looking pretty damn cool. Should really sort of show that engine off in the engine bay, even down to these cool little battery. This battery here, love that little battery, looks really cool, nicely sort of painted and weathered up. Really looks nice in the car itself, and the actual engine's in there now, and all those hoses have paid off, and it looks pretty damn cool, and should look nice inside there, as well as sort of getting sort of more of the interior detail. Really sort of moving along nice with his build, and did start to do some spraying. Quite brave of him as well to show a mistake, because he does mask this all up and he does get these nice blue stripes all done, but he did That was his second attempt, because as you can see, he did sort of mess up a little bit. Really brave to show his mistakes and learn from his mistakes, because as you can see, massive bleed through with the masking tape there. Probably maybe sort of putting a bit too much paint down, too wet, but you know, at least he shows us and learns from his mistakes. Next up we have a Edard 1/48 scale Spitfire Mark 1. Now this was done by VDBO76, which we have shown in our top picks on the forum a couple of weeks ago, where he was doing that lovely resin engine by Edard, and I just thought I'd show it you because he has almost got close to finishing it. As you can see here, the cockpit absolutely stunningly weathered up. I do believe this is all what's in the kit as well, so you know, all the photo etching stuff comes with this, I do believe. And look how amazing that looks, just out of the box, you know, and in the right hands and weathered up nicely. Looks absolutely stunning. If we move our way down, you know, we're starting to build the aircraft up, and I do believe the engine is just here. This is that absolutely gorgeous resin engine by Edard. If you're going to put your engine on display, these resin engines that Edard do are top notch. I really do like them. As you can see, so much detail inside there. But hopefully those are our top picks for the week. Hopefully you've enjoyed them. Let's get back to the workshop. Next up we have our Q&A, so let's just jump straight into it. First off we have Let's Rock. This was posted on YouTube. He says, would it look crap if you just apply the gloss finish to the selected area of the model where decals are to be applied, and then go over the whole model with a dull coat finish? I've kind of got to assume a little bit on this one, right? On a professional level, I would say it's not really the way you want to go, because I mean, from what I'm assuming here is basically saying, you know, you're taking your model and where the decals are, put a bit of gloss there, then you put your decals down, and once the decals are down, finish it all off with a matte coat. On a professional level, no, because with our decaling solutions, if you're just targeting a certain area where your decals are going to be, right, if say your microsol or whatever decaling solution you're using sort of runs and goes onto an unprotected bit of paint surface, it can leave marks which could look, you know, as he says, a little bit crap. If you're careful, okay, you could get away with that, but then to go off and just put a matte coat on the top afterwards is, as I say, not probably ideal on a professional level, because really you want to be weathering your model, I suppose, really, and you know, having a matte surface to do your weathering on isn't really ideal. You know, matte surfaces makes weathering products stick more, and sometimes we don't want it to, well, most of the time we don't want our weathering products to be really sticking to the surface. It makes it harder to do any cleanup bits or anything like that, you know, especially if we use something like, you know, the Flurry Models wash, the kind of sludge wash kind of thing. If your surface was matte and you weathered the whole thing in like a sludge wash, it would be, you know, normally you'd just be cleaning it all up and leaving all the weathering product in the recessed panel lines. If your surface is matte on all the flat surfaces, it's gonna pretty much stay behind a lot more, and it's going to be a lot harder to kind of rub it up and everything and get it all nice and clean. But, you know, this is the thing. This one kind of really did get me thinking, right? Because it depends on what you're kind of after, right? I mean, I'm only assuming here off, like, you know, 2 lines of writing that actually maybe what Let's Rock is basically after is just a nice, quick, fun build, right? And in that sense, right, this would probably work, because I mean, this is the thing, I mean, this is what really got me thinking, is here at Genesis Models, it is sort of very focused on building professional models, and sometimes maybe we kind of get a bit too focused on that and a bit too elitism kind of thing, and it's all like everything has to be done in the proper way to get that end result of having a proper professional model, which really that isn't always the case. You know, we do have new members coming in, basic modelers. You know, you got people who just want to have some fun and have fun building, and you know, doing it this way where you just put a bit of gloss down, put your decals down, and then finish your model off with a matte coat. I mean, that's nice, quick, easy, and fun, right? Which again, for basic modelers and modelers who aren't after that professional model, you know, that would actually work. And again, this has got me thinking that you know, maybe sometimes we're a bit too focused about being professional, and that would it hurt? And then this is where a nice bit of, shall we say, comments and feedback from you guys, comment down below on the forum or wherever. I mean, would it be so bad if maybe we did some videos, you know, maybe call them fun step-by-steps, in which we kind of cater for, you know, people who are basic, beginners, new to the hobby, people who aren't, shall we say, as obsessed as of some of us of getting a professional built model, and it's just all about having fun. Because I do remember the days when I was a kid and I'd get a model and that model would have to be finished that day, that night, or even, you know, that next morning or something. It would be like, you know, that model's got to get done, and I just had fun building a model. Yes, it didn't look the best at the end, but it was just so fun just to get it built quick, get it built, having a lot of fun. And maybe you know, it's got me thinking that we could do a step-by-step something in that line. Again, I'm just brainstorming, and feedback's always welcome, but I was kind of thinking if there was a way in which a build could be done really fast, right, really fun, but maybe try and get some techniques in there in which that it's, you know, fun, fast, effective, and does look half decent at the end. Okay, you know, let's get rid of trying to achieve that professional model, just, you know, keep it fun. Maybe there's room out there, maybe there is an audience for that, but again, let me know. I have ranted on a little bit on that one, but it did get me thinking, right? Next up we have, what is this, Bill Nye the Russian Spy. He's saying about the basic airbrushing tutorials we did, and I did mention about using sort of like big industrial type compressors. He's saying, what about a 80-gallon industrial shop compressor? Right, now this is going pretty damn big, right, and we're probably talking big PSIs as well. Now it can still be done, it's just what you got to keep in mind is that, you know, our airbrushes are on these little piddly hoses, right? First off, you need to have some sort of an adapter that steps it down from these big industrial tanks, or even these big 50-litre tanks like DIY type compressors. You need an adapter that's going to step the hose down to the hoses that we use in the hobby. That's the first step. But this one is basically going into a big 80-gallon tank. This is huge. They can work on PSIs that are really sort of high, really high for the hobby. I mean, a standard-ish sort of PSI for like hobby compressors is about 75 PSI that's in the tank, right? And these hoses, I can't remember what the capacity was. I can't remember if it was like 150 psi max or something, but there is a limit that you can put through in pressure through these hoses, right? So if your 80-gallon tank's psi, maximum psi, is higher than the capacity these hoses can take, plain and simply, you need to get yourself a regulator, which I've just got here. You know, attach your regulator to your 80-gallon compressor, right? Have the regulator come down to about 75 psi, stick an adapter on that regulator that brings it down to hobby hoses here, and you should be all good to go. and with 80 gallons you probably have like weeks worth of airbrushing you can do with only sort of one startup. So that would be a hell of a lot of compressed air for the hobby, way more than you'd probably need. So hopefully that answers that question. But next up we have Paul Thomas. This is quite a sort of long message, so I'm not going to sort of read it out, but basically this is following on from our Homebrew Finners video we did this week, and basically he's had a bit of a mix-up and he's found a paint that has clogged up, and any sort of advice on it. Well, he's tried to thin down Vallejo gloss white acrylic. Now this is actually a paint I haven't used. I know I use Vallejo a lot, but Vallejo that we use is the Model Air range, right? The white, I'm assuming the Vallejo gloss white is from the Model Color range, and it's gloss. I mean, all these Vallejo Model Air paints here, they're all matte, they're not gloss, and maybe that is probably why it's clogged up. I'm not quite 100% sure. Next time I get some Vallejo in, I might sort of test some of these model colors, but it's possibly because it's the gloss version. I don't know. Plain and simply, the answer to this is if the Homebrew Thinners doesn't work for a brand of paint that I haven't tested, then plain and simply go to the manufacturer's thinners and use that. It might also be because, I mean, you have used the Vallejo Retarder and the Vallejo Flow Improver. I doubt that's probably had any effect on it, because Vallejo Retarder and Flow Improver for Vallejo gloss white acrylics, I mean, if that's the reason why it's clogged up, then Vallejo has a bigger problem on their hands than just this. But it's probably, just the brand of paint, the Model Color range. Again, just use Vallejo's thinners. And that's it for the Q&A for this week. Hopefully I'm looking forward to next week. Again, we've got the store giveaway hour, which is still on. Remember, the codes are for the Meteor SGH14, for the Spitfire SGH15, and for all the tools in the tool section at Genessis Models, 20% off its Tools 20 or Tools 20, whichever way you want to put it. Hopefully you're enjoying these store giveaway hours. It is really nice to sort of get you guys sort of a nice give back and promote the store. But as always, hopefully you're looking forward to next week's videos. But until next time, my name's Bob Waldron, this is Genessis Models, and I hope you've enjoyed.